let us go through in detail what is evolutionary theory. Okay, the prominent figure that talk about evolutionary theory were Edward Tylor and Lewis Henry Morgan. Okay, the theory owes a lot to Charles Darwin's concept of biological evolution. I believe that when you heard the term evolution, you start to associate with Charles Darwin theory. Okay, the theory states that all societies go through the same developmental stages in the same sequence. Okay, and it involves cultural evolution. Okay, and it is assumed that cultural evolution is progressing in a linear fashion. Okay, meaning that it is one directional and will always bring development and cultural improvement. Okay, so all societies will go through the same process. Okay, according to Lewis Henry Morgan, okay, he used the concepts such as savagery, barbarism, and civilization. Okay, one society, it begins with the savagery level, and then more advanced become the barbarisms, and after that become civilized. Okay, it is to categorize the level of technological development for a particular society. Okay, this theory is accused of being ethnocentric. Okay, because it assumes that Western civilization is the only standard by which human development and achievement is measured. Okay, just now we have go through the definitions of ethnocentric bias, right? So this theory, the demarcations of development just based on Western civilization. Okay, so that is how they define development. Okay, everything must follow the Western style. Okay, there's the Western concepts of civilization. Okay, according to diffusion theory. Okay, so this is the second theory. Okay, the diffusion theory, which is pioneered by Grafton Elliott Smith, W.J. Perry, Fritz Graebner, and William Schmidt. Okay, you have to be familiar with those prominent figures in the theories. Okay, they assume societies in this world tend to borrow ideas and technology from other societies through the process of cultural diffusion. You remember we have discussed about cultural diffusion. Okay, so it is either forced diffusion, direct diffusions, or indirect diffusion. Right. So it is like one society learn from the other society about the culture, meaning that they borrow just about the same ideas. Smith and Perry, okay, for example, they suggested that everything that was ever invented in this world could be traced back to ancient Egyptian civilization. You try to think about this. Can you accept this idea? Okay. Okay, now the third theory, which is based on functionalism. Okay, from the term functionalism, okay, look at the basic terms here. Okay, the basic word is function. Okay, so before we go through, I hope you have, you may predict what is functionalism theory from the term functions. Okay, so this theory, it was founded by Bronislaw Malinowski and Alfred Reginald Radcliffe Brown. Okay, they attempt to prove that cultural elements in a society positively contribute to individual and social well-being. So we have discussed earlier, whereby every society emphasizes on good values. Okay, so it is up to the societies how they define good values. The principles of good and bad will be different from one society to the other society. Okay, so from this theory, they imagine that society is like organ. Okay, to be just like a biological organism, which consists of interrelated parts that depends on each other. Okay, society are interrelated from one individual to the other individual. Okay, when they are interrelated, therefore they need to have mutual understanding in order to understand, right? In order to get to have consensus about certain behavior, in order to get approval about certain actions. Okay, so this is how he described that it is like biological organism. So you just imagine it is like inside our body there are organs whereby each organs have their own functions. Okay, so this is how the theory come out with the name functionalism. Okay, because in society, when each individual is considered as the organ, every individual have their own roles whereby they have to give contribution to the society. So you can see that there is a difference between anthropological methodology and sociological methodology. Okay, so now we already come to summarize about what we have learned in this topic 2. Okay, so I hope that you already understand what is anthropological methodology and sociological methodology. Okay, there was one study that been conducted in Malay states in 1940s by an American researcher. Okay, so this American guy, I forgot the name. Okay, he was interested to study about Sonoy people. Okay, Sonoy people, they are very famous about their dream interpretation. Okay, so this was in 1940s. Okay, so this guy, he stayed with the people for a long time, okay, in order to really study how the Sonoy people practice, practice, the dream interpretations, how they interpret the dreams, what are their concerns in interpreting the dreams, and the most important thing they want to see how significant dream interpretations for the society. Okay, so he really mingled with the people. He stayed together until he got married with the local people. Okay, so when he got married, he believed that he can understand better the way of thinking by those people. Okay, so that was in 1940s. Later, in 1950s, when he went back to his country, to America, he studied and studied further. And I think you are familiar with the dream interpretations by Sigmund Freud, by the Carl Jung, from those people. Okay, actually, Sonoy people, they are more advanced rather than this. Okay, so if you Google from internet, you can find out related Sonoy dream therapy. You try to Google from internet. Okay, and you can find that in Berkeley, there is one institute which is known as Sonoy Dream Institute. Okay, so you can see that how from the ethnographic study that they have conducted, they managed to come out with theory. Okay, so you can see the relations, right? How the theory has been developed. Okay, it involves a longitudinal studies. Okay, and sociological methodology. Do you think you understand now what is sociological method? Okay, if anthropology is about people who come from the undeveloped countries, right? And it involves only a small scale of people, but sociological method is about the modern people, right? The modern societies. Okay, for example, let's say nowadays in Malaysia, there are a lot of cases about baby dumping. Okay, so a researcher want to study about this case, about the baby dumping case. Okay, let's say it focus about the baby dumping cases in Malaysia at large. Okay, so in order to conduct the study, they have to conduct Okay, maybe they distribute the questionnaires, right, to the right people in order to get the informations about the frequency of baby dumping, maybe the demographic data. Okay, they be concerned about the demographic data. It is among them the race, okay, the religions, the age group of those people who committed this baby dumping. Okay,